Today, G1 is visiting the icy planet of Hoth to review Han and his Taun Taun. We all know that this particular Taun Taun is going to die. But not in vain, Luke Skywalker will go on to become a Jedi and tell his children stories of how he kissed his own sister, all because of this moment when Han's quick thinking saved the day. Now that we have that smooch scene out of our heads, we can move on and focus our thoughts on this magnificent animal in a Sub-Zero origin story. The common giant Taun Taun is not common at all. Their anatomical details are a marvel. Insulated by blubber and containing 4 nostrils used for warming air, they brave the frigid weather and adapt to their environment. Taun Tauns have reptilian scales but are warm-blooded mammals. If you want to know why they smell so bad, it would be because they excrete wastes with oils through their skin. Anyone who rode a Taun Taun would no doubt be subjected to this foul stench. Unfortunately, it is a necessary evil because these animals can function in Hoth's harsh environments when man-made vehicles cannot. The reason that this means of transportation is used by Han to rescue a fallen comrade is no surprise. Brr, it's getting cold in here, guys, so let's take a look at this box. We got the Star Wars Black Series here, Han Solo and Taun Taun, ages 4 and up with the Hasbro logo. And right there, you got a picture of Han looking sweet. Man, this guy looks great in his Hoth gear, guys. And then the Taun Taun, wow. Now, this is the granddaddy of Taun Tauns. When you compare this with the vintage figure, this thing is just huge in comparison. Right there at the top, you got Han in his Hoth gear looking cool. And then on the back, you got a cool picture of Han on his Taun Taun right there with the standard blue stripe on the new waves of the Star Wars Black Series. Now, at the back here, if you got a nice story, if you'd like to pause that, you can go ahead and do that and read. And then the Star Wars Black Series logo. At the bottom, you have Disney and the Hasbro logo. So guys, this is looking sweet so far. You've got to check this out. You've got to get one for yourself. This is just really cool, guys. I'm really digging this thing. Let's break it open. Check out this Taun Taun in all its glory. And our new Black Series Taun Taun has been set free to roam the plains of Hoth. Now, what I did is I brought in a vintage Taun Taun with a vintage Han Solo just to do some size comparisons for you with this new Taun Taun. It's pretty interesting how they stack up, guys, so let's take a look at this. The new Taun Taun comes in at about 8 3/4 of an inch, whereas the old one comes in at about 6 3/4 of an inch. So with the animals, you get about a 2-inch difference there in height. When you get Han Solo on the Taun Taun riding him, it is at about 9 3/4 of an inch on the Black Series, and on the old one, it's about 6 3/4 of an inch. So you have about a 3-inch difference there, which is quite interesting. When you add the Han, you get another inch difference there. So 3-inch difference when it comes to the riders and the Taun Tauns themselves. Now, man, these two Taun Tauns are very different from each other, but very distinct in which line of toys they come from. The old vintage Taun Taun, the Han Solo sits a little deeper down into the side that the Taun Taun actually opens up and you can stick his feet down in there, which I thought was kind of a cool idea because it, eliminates the legs dangling at the side. But then again, it kind of looks weird. So I like the fact that they put the new Han Solo so that his legs do come down and attach right here to this buckle with the little pegs in the bottom of his feet. You can get him to keep his feet in both sides of those stirrups, which is very nice. Aside from that, the detail is completely night and day, and articulation's a little different as well. So we're going to go ahead and get into that next and show you the sculpt of Han and the Taun Taun. And we're back, and hey guys, I found that it's quite the balancing act trying to get this Taun Taun to stand upright like that without balancing him back onto his tail, which looks a little silly. So that's kind of a downfall I'm seeing so far with this guy, but let's go ahead and take a look at his sculpt and articulation. Real quick, there's the head of the Taun Taun, looking very nice and detailed, very sweet, guys, very nice. It has those reins there on the side that you can actually detach from the head in all 3 areas. You can detach right there at the top, and then on the sides over here and over here, you can detach these reins. So that's really sweet, guys. I really like the fact they did that. These horns are very nicely detailed and they look amazing. I kind of wish they were movable, but obviously they wouldn't be movable on the animal either. So I guess I'm not too bummed about that. No ear articulation, no articulation other than 360 all the way around, no up and down, no side to side. Very standard in the articulation, but the eyes and the face and the head look just really amazing detailed wise. I really think that they did a great job on that. Now this Taun Taun is made kind of like a more sturdy plastic, and you can hear it. It's more of a sturdy, thick plastic that they made this Taun Taun with, which is cool. I mean, it's more durable that way. I kind of wish he was a little bit more flexible, but it's okay nonetheless. His arms do move up and down. There's no outward motion on these arms or articulation in the wrist at all, so it's pretty standard there. This little saddle that Han Solo sits on is very nice. The stirrups are detailed nicely. Look at this detail through this thing. It just looks fantastic, guys. Look at this. All the texturing and detail on that look amazing. And the paint app looks amazing as well. There's that little extra piece there. And man, just look, they just went the extra mile on this saddle. It looks amazing. This thing does come off. You can take it off right here in the middle. There's 2 holes in the top of the Tauntaun. Of course, those are the pegs right there that peg in and hold that sucker on there for you. So that was a really cool addition. I like that, that you don't have to stick the figure down inside the Tauntaun. The articulation down to the tail, there's none. Down at the bottom, it's a little softer, but there is no tail articulation at all on this guy thus far. So, you know, kind of a bummer there too. The articulation is pretty standard, kind of like the vintage. Just a little different here in the feet area though. The feet do move up and down like so, and they do move all the way around 360 as well. There's this little horn in the back of his ankle there, and on the bottom he has no peg holes, but he's got the pink little webbed feet, which is kind of cute actually. Down here at the bottom, you get some paint around the buckles here, around this saddle area. And, you know, you got a little bit of a different coloration going on through here, through his torso area. So, you know, for all in all, this Tauntaun looks really cool. The biggest problem is getting him to stand, and I'm going to demonstrate that right now. You really have to do kind of a little balancing act here between his tail and his legs. And once you do that, you get him standing. He looks pretty good. So what we're going to do next is get into Han's detail and his articulation. And we return with Han Solo in his Hoth gear. Solo Han, if you're Hispanic, you know, thus far he's about as equally impressive as the Tauntaun, and I'm really liking this figure so far. So let's take a closer look at his sculpt and articulation for you. Starting with his head. Now this is a kind of a loose hood that they put on him, which is removable, which is very nice. They put the slit right here. You can take this right on off anytime you like, which I'm going to demonstrate now. Once you get it past his chin, you just pull it straight up and it comes right off of there. I don't like the fact that they didn't capture Harrison Ford's likeness as much on this figure, but they sketch work and the etch work around the helmet sculpt looks very nice on that. So, you know, kind of makes up for the fact that they didn't quite make him look the way he should. He does have articulation looking down and up about that far, all the way around 360, no side-to-side motion on the head. Down into his torso, it's more of a firm, sturdy plastic. You're getting a lot of detail in there. That looks really cool. All the way around the back, as you see, they cut no corners there. That looks very nice. His arms do push out about this far, rotate around 360. He does have a single jointed elbow bend. He rotates at the elbow, rotates at the forearm, no wrist articulation, and no upper bicep rotation either, which kind of is a bummer there. But taking a look at his pistol, his sidearm looks really nice. I like the fact they painted this tip here on the gun, and then they painted the butt of the gun a brown color, as you can see there. And I like the fact that you can stick his finger through there, and he grips that a lot better, which they've been doing on the Black Series, and that's awesome. Good idea, guys. That gun looks really nice. Very good addition to the figure. Down into his belt area, fantastic apps, paint apps through the belt area. He's got a lot of silver on this brown, which is a nice contrast all the way around to the back, even better on the back. As you can see, even this buckle down here has some silver on it. I like the fact that his holster has this little strap that you can take on or off and basically secure his weapon with, which is a very good idea, and they've been doing that too on the Black Series lately, which is nice. Down into his lower area, torso area, he does have the pliable material. It's more of a rubbery feel, which helps for articulation, so that's nice as well. He does rotate all the way around at the waist 360, forward ab crunch and back ab crunch, and then his legs kick out about that far. They kick forward quite far and back as well. So you got some upper thigh swivel, you got the double jointed knees, you got no calf rotation, but you do have feet that move up and down, and you do have an ankle pivot. Really cool, guys. There's those pegs in the bottom of his feet, one for the stirrup and then one for when he's standing up, if you want to stand him up on a peg somehow. He looks really good, guys. I'm not going to complain whatsoever about this Han Solo. He looks great. Like I said, I wish the face looked more like Harrison Ford. It would have been, you know, the kicker would have sold it for me at that point. But let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories real quick for you. Now, he does come with the binoculars that he looked for Luke with in Hoth. So that was really cool. They added this accessory. They painted that strap brown too, so it's not all one color. That looks really nice, guys. Look at that. Yeah, not bad at all. So going into the next piece, he does come with this visor. Now this is because Hoth is so darn bright. He needs something to cut down on that glare out there while he's riding on this Tauntaun. So I like the fact they put some reflective paint on those visors there. That looks really nice. So really cool addition. Neat little piece you can add to your Tauntaun and Han Solo collection here. So what we're going to do next is we're going to get into Han's grading and give you an overall view of what we thought Han and his Tauntaun deserve for a grade. Now he's a little easier to stand up, but as you can see, you got to balance him a bit as well to get him to stay. So we'll get into the grading next, and we will show you that. And the anticipation is over. We are now at the point where we are ready to grade the Taun Taun and Han, starting with their appearance. Great looking set, guys. Already said it a million times that the detail on this thing was fantastic. So the appearance appeal is up there, man. It's going to get an 8 on appearance. Now, the next category of articulation, it really could have used some help in those feet and leg areas to help this Taun Taun stand up and balance better. That's probably the worst part of the entire set, that the articulation was not there in the legs that I wanted to see for the Taun Taun. Now, let's go ahead and give it a 6 in articulation. Still a decent grade because Han does have some decent articulation, but for the Taun Taun, it definitely needed to work in the bottom torso area. So moving right on into durability. This is a very durable figure, durable animal as well. Now, it's durable in Hoth and it's durable in real life. So guys, it's gonna get a 7 in durability. Right on into collectability. This is a very nice set. You really can't go without it if you're gonna be collecting the Black Series. So I'm gonna give it a straight 7 on collectability because it completely deserves it. And then for an overall score, we are gonna give Han and his Taun Taun a 7. In closing, we learned the G1 lesson of the day, which simply states, happiness is a warm Taun Taun. Thank you all incredibly for watching, and when your fingers are thawed out, please click on subscribe. Also, give us a nonchalant follow on Instagram. We would greatly appreciate that. Also, don't forget, you can get this toy and more at our eBay store, G1 Toys 2015. Remember, if the temperature is below 0 and you need a true hero, cozy up with a Taun Taun and channel your inner toy.
Looks like there's a blizzard coming. Anyone seen Luke?
I saw him earlier near mile marker 15.
Well, that's a ways out, and it's getting dusk. I better go find him. Now, if you go on out there and find he's expired, don't go trying to bury him in the pet graveyard. Sometimes expired's better. Well, I'll do what I have to save my friend, General. That there Taun Taun will freeze before you reach the first mile marker. Then I do believe I will see you in hell, sir. Yo!
Oh, shoot! Are you expired, little buddy?
Slave Leia. Red Light District.
No, don't try and talk, little buddy. I'm gonna get you warm.
You're the schlong. Man alive, it's amazing how the freezing weather cuts down the smell of these things on the outside. I don't know what I would have done without your quick thinking, hon. I love you. I know.
Because